Have you ever felt?
Are you listening? Damn.
Have you
Hello, hello, hello. Hi, guys. Welcome to the show. I have been summoned. I had no plans on going live tonight, but I was attacked. I was attacked in my DMs on Instagram. So I am here. Hello. Somebody said Carol Baskin. Right. That was my cute little, shout out to Tiger King on Netflix. Look. Hello. I see my members are already here. And I'm seeing some binge watchers that I recognize. Shout out to y'all. Yes, I am happy to be here. I am just kidding. I went ahead and posted the link for you guys to go ahead and call in because this is a last minute live. So I didn't get to prepare much. I just wanted to be here with y'all, like have some conversations, see how y'all doing. And of course, we're going to talk about how we feeling about this Real Housewives of Atlanta reunion tea. Hello, hello, hello. People have already started coming in. Lamar said he ready for the shade. You already know I got the mute button ready after last time I went live. And shout out to everybody who joined the poll. And shout out to G for these super chats. I appreciate it. Shout out to you keeping the bills paid. Y'all know this is the last day of the month for you guys to make a contribution to Bingeworthy so that I can keep the cable on. So I definitely appreciate all of the super chats. I definitely appreciate you guys just for being here, for liking, subscribing, and just being a part of the Bingeworthy squad. It's saying that I have not been able to post the link in the chat. Are you guys getting the link to the chat that I'm actually posting? Shout out to y'all. I see purple hearts. Y'all know I will twerk for purple hearts. Purple is my favorite color, if y'all can't tell. So yes, purple hearts definitely, makes my day. Thank you. So how are you guys doing? Donette said, we ready. Yes, we ready. RR is asking, what's the tea? You tell me what's the tea. Make sure y'all call in. Are y'all able to see the link that I've pasted in the chat? Hello, everybody. Shout out to y'all. All right, so I'm gonna just keep it real. My goal was to, take all of the tea that I've been seeing on the internet about the reunion and kind of sort through it and put something together for y'all. But the way the way my week been set up with this Rona V, and trying to, regroup after pushing out all these videos, I just couldn't bring myself to prepare nothing just yet. I did start working on it, but then I got interrupted today. So I will share with you guys a little bit of what I have. And then the main point of tonight's live is for us to just talk. Hello, guys. I see you guys are still coming in with the purple hearts. So today is going to be more of a conversation, and we can just kind of sort through some of this tea together. Are y'all okay with that? Or y'all want me to just go ahead and leave because I should have prepared something? Let me know if y'all are okay with us just having a conversation by spamming me with purple hearts right now in the chat. Yeah, I do. I try, It's hard out here for a player sometimes, but I try to always have y'all back. All right, I think I'm seeing enough purple hearts. I don't have to jump ship. So let's get started. Let me go ahead and start with what I know about the reunion. We don't know much. And, you guys know that, of course, the reunion was filmed last week and it was filmed virtually. Andy announced way back on April 6th that it would be a virtual reunion, and they faced quite a bit of backlash. But Andy Cohen stayed positive, and all of the ladies stayed positive. And Bravo will definitely air at least a 2-part reunion, but I definitely think that it will be a 3-part reunion. And the first episode is slated for May 10th at 7:00. That's right. We lost our 8:00 slot. I don't know who got it. I don't know if it's Married to Medicine LA, or I don't know if Bravo got another show that's, took our slot. But as of right now, our slot is 7:00 on May 10th for part 1. And for part 2, it's going to be airing that following Sunday at May 10th. And you guys already know that Nene has already been feeling some kind of way.
The first 2.5 hours, it was all questioning me, Nene. I thought, okay.
I'm just trying to get my stuff loaded up here. Nene Leakes went on Instagram a few days ago, spilling pipe purple hearts.
The first 2.5 hours, it was all questioning me, Nene.
Somebody said that Andy confirmed that it's 3 parts. Okay. So it's going to be 3 parts.
So it's all me.
Nene Leakes went on Instagram a few days ago, spilling piping hot tea about the reunion. It's been a lot to
The first 2.5 hours.
All right, give me 1 second. I'm trying to get my video loaded up here. And I'm having some difficulty.
I thought.
Okay. See what happened when I come on live for y'all when I ain't prepared to? Let me just take a call. Hello.
Hey, what's the tea?
Hey. Y'all, this is one of the people who forced me to come live tonight. So I just want to expose her.
Me?
She's the main one who put pressure on my back. I'm just playing.
I did. I'm sorry.
How are you?
I'm good. I just think that it's time for somebody to step up. Now, as much as I follow you, have you ever noticed that I've never given like a definite side? Like, you've never heard me say I'm Team Twirl or, Team Nene, because I respect your decision and I know you're Team Twirl. But seriously, it's time for somebody to respectfully address how Kenya can dish it, but she can't take it. She cannot.
You don't think she can take it?
I don't. I think that when they go to clips of her doing something like being contradictory, or even when they're asking her questions in the live confession, she's like, is that what we're going to discuss? Because if so, I'm going to leave. We don't have to deal with this. I've already apologized for that. So what's next? You want to keep bringing up the baby comment that Nene made, but when Tanya wants to bring up the cookie lady, I've already apologized for that. We're not gonna get on that. So I think that
But ain't that a
I
part
don't
of being a queen?
I think that I don't think she's held to the same standard, but I will say that Nene, she is benefiting as much as Kenya is from the feud, in my opinion.
Right.
Think that it's equal, but I'm interested to see how this reunion.
Yeah,
And Shady Eva.
right. I'm excited to see how things go. I just hope that it doesn't look ratchet. That's all I ask. Like, I'll take a boring reunion as so long it doesn't look like a soup kitchen reunion that they filmed in the garage.
Right. Right. But that's all I wanted to say. I'm ready to get back in this chat.
All right. Well, thank you for calling. I can't wait to see you in the chat. And thank you for those super chats.
All right. And I'm getting back in your DM. Okay, bye.
All right. Bye. All right, guys. I'm going to paste the link to for you guys to call in a couple more times. So I want you guys to go ahead and call in so that I can go ahead and chat with you guys. And I'm going to go ahead and try to play my video again.
The first 2.5 hours, it was all questioning me, Nene. I thought, okay, so it's all me.
Nene Leakes went on Instagram a few days ago, spilling piping hot tea about the reunion. It's been a lot to unpack, but from what I understand, Nene feels like she's being treated unfairly, and to be honest, she's really, really over it.
According to everything I saw this season, they said they carried the show. I'm not in that many episodes. They in majority of the episodes. So why should I have that many questions? I ain't never scared. I'm good. I'm a big girl. I don't need no sympathy. I don't need nothing. I'm good. Okay? I got it. Eva's got to save her plum and make it into a piece. So she's got to pull shit out of, just do whatever she got to do.
No, my bad.
Yes, Nene confirmed that she got so upset that she walked off from the reunion multiple times. And to be honest, I'm not even mad.
So after 2.5 hours, I closed my computer. They have not said on here once we're finna have a pee break. You can go pee now. Anybody want some water? We have our drinks. We can just drink whatever we want to drink. I closed my computer. I went to go use the bathroom and I thought, I need a break. So I'm just gonna take a break. Whenever I felt like I want to take a break, I'm just gonna take a break. Because if I'm just the person that you guys are asking questions to, I'm gonna need a break a little bit more than everybody else, I guess.
Yes, so I don't know if you guys watched Nene Leakes' live video, but Nene went in and she pretty much painted a really interesting picture about what we can expect for this season's reunion. And, you know, y'all know that I be Team Twirl-ish, but I'm really starting to kind of feel Nene, and I do feel like, you know, what she had to say and what her perspective was, I just do feel like maybe, you know, it's starting to be a little bit too much. I don't know if you guys watched the video, but she even spoke about production pretty much setting her up to be the only one who wasn't wearing white. And I just feel like if there's going to be any kind of shade or any type of drama going on the show, I certainly don't want it to be set up and instigated that deeply by production, because, you know, Nene explained in her video, it really made her feel like the black sheep. It made her feel like a target. And I just feel like that was kind of whack. And I don't know. I just feel like after watching Nene's video, I kind of am starting to look at a couple of the ladies with the side eye. And I'm definitely starting to look at the network with the side eye, because Nene had a lot to say and she definitely provided receipts.
Yes.
Hello.
Hi, Justin. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I am doing well also, and you are spot on. I watched Nene's videos, and really I could sense that she was like upset. There was two of them. Like one was titled "It's Not Fair" and another one was "Keeping It Real." And I just kind of felt like she was not at peace about the reunion. And
Mm-hmm.
I will say this, when you said it's something about the network too, I have that same thought because I feel like Bravo must be extremely corporate. They're going really corporate America, not only on Nene, but with other women who have starred on other Real Housewives franchises like Orange County and Vicky Gunvalson.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think that it's a good idea for Nene to argue with producers, not just this most recent season 12 when they were in Greece and Kenya and Kandi. I think they were going to act out characters, and Nene didn't want to sit through that, and she was going off on the producers. But even season 11, when they were in her house and the whole closet saga, see, stuff like that will add up. When
Mm-hmm.
you have a corporate job, if they want you out, they're just going to stack the deck and say, well, Nene, season 11, you did this. Season 12, you did that. And I
Right.
mean, I don't think it's not looking really good for her. And if it's
And
true that they tried to tell her not to wear white, and then she was wearing a totally different color, and then of all colors, she chose black. If that's not theatrics and that's the real deal, it seems really bad. Like they might be trying to push her out.
right. And my thing is, I also thought about in Greece, whenever she had that moment where she snapped on them again. And I get it. At
Hmm.
this point, probably all of our girls, even though we probably don't want to think about it them this way, probably all of them, have this sense of arrogance and probably disrespect production at some point, like Nene did.
True. Hmm.
And that comes naturally. They've been doing this for a while. They have the right to feel like that girl. And obviously we would want them to still have that kind of respect, but I can see each and every one of them, really being that way. Eva's been open about how she's Eva the diva. And I
Hmm.
don't necessarily have a problem with it, but it does make me feel some kind of way. And you guys know I love the drama, but I want the drama to be organic. And I
Yeah.
certainly want the drama to be amongst the girls and not the network. That's kind of
Yeah.
strange.
Exactly. I totally agree. And then, according to Nene, the first 2.5 hours, she was questioned. A lot of it was about Wendy Williams. And she was right. Like, why didn't they send Mark Daly a Zoom link so that he could be on the reunion? Why
I thought
didn't,
that was a no-brainer.
Yeah, a no-brainer. So I was very shocked when I watched Nene's video and she said that Mark Daly was not on there. Because if anything, because of the climate that we're in, it should be super easy to bring on those people into the reunion because they're literally doing it from home.
Right.
So I could have sent them a Zoom link. I mean, Mark should have been there. I couldn't believe that.
Right. Yeah. I definitely thought for sure that would be like the main thing that happened. And I just thought it was hilarious, how Nene said, like, is that fair? Like, why didn't he bring all these people she started naming? And guys,
Yeah.
I'm still going to edit my video about like my reunion tea recap. Hopefully I'll get to put it out before the actual trailer drops. But, I just haven't been that inspired. So sorry that it took so long.
That's okay. And what are your thoughts about Yovana? Like, okay, so
That's really the reason why I haven't made the video. I don't care about Yovana, and
yeah.
most of the tea is centered around Yo-Yo. So I'm just like,
Yes.
I don't want to give her free press, and I don't want to have to make myself care enough about
Yes.
Yovana to be able to spill the tea, quote unquote. So it's just like, I guess I have to, but I don't care.
Now, this is what I want to point out when it comes to Yovana. When they were in Toronto, all of the ladies, regardless of how they felt about Nene, all of the ladies were on the same page that they did not think that it was cool for Yovana to secretly record a conversation that she had with Cynthia Bailey. Remember that.
Mhm.
Portia stood up for Cynthia, or at least let Yovana know that that was not cool, and other people.
Wait,
So,
didn't we speak about this at the last live that I had? And I was just like, some more tea is gonna come out, and hopefully, I don't know if I can talk. Was that with you?
yes, you
Okay.
said that you had tea on why Yovana was pushed. Suddenly, she left the season.
Yeah, because I knew like pretty much as soon as it happened for months now that Yovana, I understood the situation. I knew that Yovana really wanted to spill the tea, but her husband wouldn't let her because he's the one who was just like, I got the audio, and I'm the one who, recorded it or, whatever happened. And I don't want to be involved in it. And I don't want you to have any legal recourse from it. So,
Yeah, because
so
that's big. Like that's so illegal. Like if there was a case, that would be inadmissible, like a secret recording. But
yeah,
here's the thing: Yovana is like a thermometer. So Nene always says that supposedly executives at Bravo, they only let certain people have a spinoff all the time. Nene says that people are trying to get her off of the show. So Yovana is the thermometer because in Toronto, they did not agree with what she did. So now if we see particularly Kenya and Kandi trying to get Yovana on that show, then that will be the evidence that they do want Nene off. Because in
right.
Toronto, they were not cool about her secretly recording anyone.
Right. But now it's kind of like what Nene said in her video. And somebody said that I'm backpedaling. I'm not backpedaling. Like, I'm always changing my mind if you guys pay attention. These women always have a chance to reveal a little bit more information that has me, that changes my mind. And it's my obligation to tell the truth. So I can't sit here and ignore the truth just because I may not love Nene the most. Like, I love the truth the most.
Yeah, me too. You're totally fine. I mean, what's wrong with taking it episode by episode,
Right.
scene by scene, and you
Right.
just stating what you agree with and what you disagree with?
Right. So the thing was, like, Nene said that all of a sudden these girls don't care. They don't value like the truth as much as they value how do we make Nene look bad. And I don't want to believe that. I don't want to be the one be like, oh, that's true. But that's what it looks like now, because you're right. They had such a problem with it whenever, they wasn't sure about the situation. But now that they've had time to think and they see the storyline potential, I think more people are riding with that than they would have. And
yeah. Because look at Eva Marcille. I'm sorry, I cut you off. Go ahead.
And the last thing before I kind of, wrap up from this is I thought it was really, really interesting. And you guys have to watch Nene's full video. But I thought it was really, really interesting that she revealed that she sat down with Yovana's husband, an executive from the network, as well as producers to try to figure out how they're going to get down to the bottom of Snakegate. And I didn't even know that storylines were that serious.
I
didn't know that.
think it's, you know what? That's a very good point that you bring up. I think it's because Yovana and her husband must have thought, you know what? We better talk to someone because we secretly, they didn't want to get sued by Cynthia Bailey. So that's why it was like such a big deal. So now Yovana looks really suspect. She looks really suspect. And unfortunately, I don't think Nene pieced it together that, hello, you can't secretly record anyone.
Right.
And so now she kind of looks like she's like a co-conspirator in some major shadiness. I think Nene kind of got played a little. Right.
And, it's really unfortunate, but it is true that Nene had her hand in it in some capacity, So.
Exactly.
Well, thanks for calling. I would love to talk to you all night, but how people are.
You're so funny. All right. Well, I will get off your line then. Have a good one, Justin.
You too.
Bye.
And y'all, she's another one of the people who really pressured me to come online tonight and go live. So I just have to say, she's another person who, put the fire under me. Oh, shoot. Michelle from Straight from the A is here. She said, Team Truth, Team Nene. Thank you. Because the thing is, like, I don't know if I'm Team Nene, but in this moment, Nene is looking a little bit like the truth. And like I said, I love the truth more than I love Kenya, Kandi, and everybody else. And I can't deny the truth. So once Kandi make a video and once Kenya make a video and they spill some tea, maybe they'll convince me. But right now, Nene's the only one who's made a compelling argument. I can't even speak on what Yovana said because I don't follow her and I wasn't interested. in her receipts. So yeah. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. And yourself?
I'm doing well. What do you want to chat about?
Well, I just wanted to say that I've been watching your videos for a very long time, and I am Team Nene. I feel like out of Kenya, I feel like Nene has a heart, and I feel like the past two videos that she did, you kind of saw that like she was very emotional about it, the whole entire situation. And I feel like this entire season, even though people were saying, oh, she was faking it, she was not very compassionate about saying sorry to other people, I think she was, the whole moment with Kenya when she was trying to talk to her, I think she really meant it. And I feel like that was the point where she was like, okay, Kenya does not want to talk to me, then I'm kind of over it at that point. But I feel like Nene, she is very, very hard to understand. And I feel like Kenya and Nene are kind of like the same people, and that's why they really don't really like each other. But I feel like Nene is more compassionate.
Okay, I can see that for sure. And yeah, like, and that's the moments where Nene is kind of like this and she kind of suspends that, like, oh, I'm the rich bitch. Like when she kind of suspends that and she shows that humanity or that relatability, that's the times that I'm like, okay, you know what? I can hear you right now, Nene. And if somebody's doing you wrong, I don't want to be a part of that, you know? And I'm not going to enjoy that, you know? Like entertainment is one thing, fun shade is one thing, but if you got producers over here setting Nene up to look bad over and over again, and she made a good point. You know, I was one of the people that said, oh, Nene was absent from the show so much. She may not be as important as she thinks she is. So to that point, she shouldn't be the only one carrying the reunion. Like she should have got a break. The reunion should have been about Kenya Moore. It should have been about Portia. It should have been about some of Kandi's drama. And that really should have been the highlight because that's what the season really was. And then maybe she should have had 1 or 2 moments to go back and forth with Kenya. But there's no reason why she should have been in the hot seat for 4 hours or however long.
I feel like that's absolutely correct. Like Kenya and Portia were like the bigger stories, and not no shade, but just like the bigger stories of the season. And that's when it comes into like Kenya doesn't really have, people don't treat her the same as any other, like for Nene. Kenya's story with her husband, and as the other girl was saying before, she was saying that Nene doesn't really have equal treatment. Kenya is not willing to talk about certain things, and she's very like standoffish when it comes to situations like that. And I feel like Nene, she in this reunion, 2.5 hours willing to her, that makes no sense when Kenya and Portia had a bigger season, more things to talk about than Nene.
Right. Well, thank you for calling. Is there anything else you want to get off your chest before I let you go?
No, thank you so much for picking me.
All right. Thank you. Have a good day.
Bye.
Hello.
Hi, Justin. Good night. This is my first time calling in. I watch your video all the time, but I never called in. But I just want to talk about Nene and Kenya for a little bit. My thing is that Nene, if they are so down on Nene have the opportunity right there and then to go off, tell the producer what they do, tell the person, tell Yovana to her face what they do, the receipts. I think Nene is just trying to cover herself that when we see the reunion, we feel sympathy for her and not for Kenya. I am not team Nene, team Kenya. I love the fact that Kenya have a baby and everything, but I just think her husband was a ass the whole time. And I think they would touch on that, but I didn't see the reason, because it was virtual reunion, to bring the husband out. I think the ladies should work out what they are going through within themselves, not to bring out Gregory or Kenya husband, because First of all, I wouldn't want to see him because he is an ass. I
Right.
just don't want to see him because he's an ass. He's very disrespectful and everything. And I figure more than less that it's more to the reunion than what Nene said. I was listening to an interview with Kandi, and Kandi was saying, "Oh, I can't spill anything because I have to be mindful of Bravo." But to the hint I'm getting is that it's more to it than what Nene is saying. To
Right.
me,
For
you
sure.
understand me? She go on her live and she's ranting because she wants us to be sorry for her. Nene used to be my favorite person on the show
Hmm.
until the episode with Greg. I
Hmm.
love that man. I don't know about anybody else, but I really love Greg. I think he's wise. I think he always has so much wisdom to give.
Hmm.
And the way how she treat her husband in that moment, it was not about Greg, it was about Nene. I'm a caregiver, I'm a CNA, I'm a
Hmm.
caregiver. And I know that caregiving is hard. You understand? Because I do it with family members, so I know that caregiving is hard. You
True.
understand? But
Hmm.
when your family or your husband or whosoever gets sick, you forgot about yourself. You focus on them completely.
Right.
It wasn't like that with Nene. And
Yeah.
that is the reason why. And I always say to myself, there's more to this snake gate thing that they're going through with Kenya and Kandi and everything. And I said, Nene get the opportunity to confront Ivana and tell her, you are the one. Your husband is the one who records Cynthia. We meet with the producer at X time at this place. The producer say that the this confront her. You have the space there. Nobody can hold your mouth and close your mouth. You have the opportunity to confront everybody there. Tell
Right.
Andy how you feel and everything. But the fact that you walk off because Ivana was coming, let me figure that it was more than that.
Right.
It was not just you understand, you didn't want Ivana there. If you send her a cease and desist letter, you didn't want her there.
Right.
You didn't want her to talk what really was going on.
All right. Well, you
Um,
definitely make a good point, and I agree. Like it was hard to watch how Nene handled, Greg's situation last season. And she admitted that it wasn't hard, and I, I'm happy that they're in a better place now. But yeah, I agree that she could have handled that situation a little bit better.
Even the fact that Kandi was the only one who wants to film with Nene, and every opportunity Nene get to stab at Kandi, she does. And when Kandi stab back, she pretend like, oh, they're teaming up on her, this team over there versus this team over there. I think Cynthia, Kenya, and Kandi have a genuine relationship. I don't think they're teaming up on her as what she think. I don't think that I think it's all in her mind because she ate the fact that she and Cynthia is no longer friend and Cynthia is friend with Kenya. Remember when Marlo comes on and was friend with Kenya? Nene didn't talk to Marlo. She and Marlo was very close, and when Marlo come on and was friend with Kenya, and
Hmm.
Kenya was saying, "Stop, Nene, we just want to talk to you or whatever." And she was so mad, and Marla was following behind her. They were at a game and they were like screaming and whatever. So anything have to do with Kenya, I don't know why Nene don't like. And see that Kenya is coming up on the show, and she see that more people is liking Kenya. And I think, to me, I think more people hate Kenya than what like Kenya. But
Right.
somehow Kenya is very, very good for the show. First, Nene was the head bitch in charge. Now there's another head bitch in charge. And she
Right.
don't like that.
Right.
She
Yeah.
doesn't like that.
I definitely understand, and
Yeah, if you notice, anytime Nene feel threatened by anybody else on the show, you remember when Kendra come on the show and Kendra, not Kendra, oh God, what's her name? Apollo wife. Oh, oh,
Phaedra.
Taja,
Hmm.
Taja, and she feel because Taja was saying she knows her from when, and she said, "Oh, I didn't know her." And sooner or later, she and what's her name go to the country that the state that they come from with this guy in the van that was talking about Kenya, about Kandi and stuff. And I said, oh, she said she didn't know. Oh, she said she didn't know this girl and they know everything about each other and wish who used to go to this dance. I was saying, I don't trust Nene anymore.
Right.
And I just don't trust her.
All right. Well, hopefully Nene will have a chance to redeem herself with you. Thank you so much for calling. I'm glad you got a chance to join the show.
Thank you very much. I really love you, though.
Thank you so much.
Okay. All right.
I'll
bye.
see you in the chat. Bye-bye. Y'all be passionate. See, every time I try to show Nene a little bit of love, see how y'all do me? Y'all don't be wanting me to y'all don't be wanting me to have a little bit of sympathy for Nene Leakes. I'm just playing, but no, I definitely understand everybody's perspective, and I know Nene definitely let a lot of her fans down lately with some of her actions, but I always feel like everyone has a chance to kind of redeem themselves and to, get back in, the viewers' good graces, and hopefully Nene will get an opportunity to do that soon. Hello? Hello? Hi, how are you?
Oh my God. So, how are you doing, Justin?
I'm doing pretty good.
I was about to jump in without saying hi. But, what was that last caller talking about? Let me know.
She was just saying that she used to be a Nene fan, and, she's just disappointed with her right now, and I understand that.
I understand that. I don't understand when people comment on Greg's cancer situation or how they try to make it seem like Nene was selfish during that time. We only saw a small window of that time when she's really taking care of him 24 hours a day, off season and during the season. So I think that's really unfair for people to say, especially Cynthia, when she said it on Speak on It. I'll be really mad about that. But I'm not really disappointed in anything Nene did this season. I felt like she was justified in most of the things she said. I'll take away the very last episode comments about the egg, but even that, it was kind of a hypothetical. She could have hypothetically got this egg,
Mm-hmm.
So I really didn't fault her for any of that stuff. I just feel like she gets the short end of the stick. We all see it, but we try to act like we don't.
Mm-hmm.
The reunion, I think it's going to be really interesting, and I think we just have to watch how it's going to be edited. But I don't think we should think about her walking off, because it might not even affect the reunion at all.
Now they're gonna show that. They're gonna show every time she walked out, and they're gonna have the dramatic music and everything, and they're gonna be like, next time on the Real Housewives of Atlanta.
Do you think the camera is just gonna be panning to an empty chair?
No, she said she closed the lid on the laptop, so it's gonna say line disconnected
or something like that.
But yeah,
I enjoyed the season. I didn't love it, but I enjoyed some moments of it.
Mm-hmm.
I like that whole red event with the Bailey Q.
Somebody said you're her boyfriend in Maryland. But go ahead.
What was I saying? Oh yeah, I think the show needed more group events like that sit down at the Bailey Q, or that sit down that they showed on the Secret Revealed episode.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we need more. We just need more laughs. It was very dark this season,
right?
And we're missing what Housewives was, even past seasons. It was about the drama, but we always got back to just random laughs,
right?
And I feel like we don't have that anymore.
And speaking of that, like lately, guys, I've been watching different shows, and I thought that Amazon Prime Video was ghetto, and I was just like, I ain't gonna ever find any shows that I like on Amazon Prime Video. But Amazon Prime Video has this show about fashion, and it's called Making the Cut. If you guys watch Making the Cut on Amazon Prime, let me see some purple hearts in the chat. But while watching that show, I realized, like, this is what I miss about Atlanta. Like, the fun, the fabulosity, like they just insert scenes where like Heidi and the other hosts just like are having fun and doing rich, fabulous stuff. And I feel like that's what Atlanta needs, but maybe that costs too much. Like maybe it's cheaper to just have a Snakegate situation than to show us them blowing millions of dollars.
And one more question. Why do you think the producers went further with bringing Yovana if some producers have met up with her and verified the story was real?
I think what happened was, and I can't speak exactly on what happened, but I think what happened was it was entertaining at first. And I think that once the liability got mentioned, I think that they kind of eased off from it. But I think that, the reason why they included so much about that backstory on Secrets Revealed is they probably had made the decision to bring Yovana to reunion and to go ahead and make that like a bigger part of the storyline. That's the only reason I can think of. And I think that Eva Marcel played a huge part in that. And I believe maybe Kandi as well played a huge part in Yovana being at the reunion, but I'm not sure yet.
Well, definitely Eva, because she was calling for Yovana to be at the reunion weeks before it was taping, and she never liked the girl, so that was obvious.
Right. And I have some exclusive tea, and in my video that I edit, I'll include these receipts. But the cookie lady actually slid in my DMs, which is so lame to me because I clearly throw shade at the Cookie Monster. And she just was in my DM talking about, she hates that the reunion was postponed because it was going to be so good. And she just kept hinting that she was going to be there. And I'm just like, but girl,
what would she have done?
So we don't care if he was going to be there. And I just left her on red. And then she was like watching all my stories. And I'm just like, was Bravo really going to slum and do that? Because this was about to be the most ratchet reunion ever with all of these D-list, non-contracted people coming.
I want to know why we got that random drama with Portia and Kenya at the end of the season, but it wasn't followed up. Like, can Shamia speak? Well, she did speak off the season. We know the backstory, but they should show that on camera for people who aren't on social media like us.
I particularly didn't care that much about that. So did y'all care?
But it was the only rift that Kenya and Portia had, and
starting to yeah, Portia already dragged Kenya off the couch, and we want to see them be friends for a couple seasons.
It's not realistic, Justin.
I mean, but that's what makes it good. I'm not saying I want them to be friends forever, but I need people to be friends long enough for me to care again by the time they choose to fight. Like it hasn't been long enough, Portia. Like save that card.
I get you.
I think Portia was just fishing for a storyline. I love Portia, but I feel like she was just fishing for a storyline. Yes, Kenya threw shade, but nobody would have known the extent of the shade until Portia acknowledged it.
I think she needed a storyline, but also when you think about it, I don't think their personalities really mesh at all. Anyway,
and to
I
me,
find Portia to be really genuine, and I don't really think the other person is.
All right, well, thanks for calling. I was just kidding. You can go ahead and say what you want to say.
No, that's all I have to say.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, thanks for calling. I'll see you in the chat.
Yeah.
All right. Bye-bye. All right, guys, I have a couple more callers in the queue, but there was, another segment of Nene's video that I looked at, and I want to go ahead and share it with you guys as well.
I was asked questions about me and Wendy Williams' relationship. I really felt like that has nothing to do with the show at all. Wendy and I had a bit of a disagreement recently. She spoke out on her show. She called me that girl over there.
Nene goes, let's get on FaceTime. Norman, now I don't have face or time for FaceTime. Right. Why would I be doing it for somebody over there? Right. Which I like Nene, but she's still an over there person. I am not a housewife. Sorry, my career is a bit different.
And so they asked me about the situation. I was asked a question about it. And one of the questions came from one of the girls was that, why didn't you speak out publicly about that? I feel like your relationship with her is very strategic. You didn't speak out publicly about that because you like having a relationship with her. She has that platform. You'll be able to go over there and talk on that platform. You'll be able to do this, this, and this. I explained as best I could that I don't have a strategic relationship with her. Why isn't the other girls being asked stuff that happened off camera?
Well. Next question.
You have all these other girls on this platform, and it's supposed to be an ensemble that's making this show or making this reunion, outside of trying to put pressure on one person to be the reunion.
Yeah, I just felt like Wendy definitely went a little too far with that. And, like, I have a heart and I do feel bad because I know that hurt Nene's feelings. And I am surprised that Nene really has been the bigger person in that situation. And yeah, a part of her probably is wanting to, keep that relationship intact because it is a very lucrative relationship. But I think from the beginning of Wendy and Nene's rekindlation situation, Nene was authentic. And I think that Nene really wanted to be able to be good friends with Wendy Williams. And I just feel like Wendy Williams was always just going to use Nene. And I just don't like when people do people like that because Wendy knew what she was saying, and Wendy wasn't really being truthful. I don't know if she had a long night, if you know what I mean. And maybe Nene was interrupting something that was more important, but I just don't like that side of Wendy Williams. And I think that it was completely ridiculous. And it's one of the situations where I think that Nene definitely rose above, and I appreciate that. I also agree that it is awkward for them to try to make that like a part of the reunion, because I feel like on Bravo's end, it's really them, just clout chasing. And then I feel like the girls, need to just not worry about it. And if it happened to come up, then it came up. But if they really grilled her in the way that she said they did, that's kind of whack. Hello. Hey, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm well. Welcome back to the show.
Welcome. Thanks to be here.
What do you have to say?
Well, I've actually watched Nene's YouTube and Brent's YouTube channel about the whole incident, about the Snakegate, and to me, it does seem as if production did play a part in it, because if everybody else is wearing white and they told you to, hey, 2 or 3 other girls are wearing white, and then you call your bestie and she says she's wearing cream and white, and now all of a sudden you have black, you do look like a target. And in that instance, I did feel bad for her at that point. Yes, Nene has made a lot of mistakes. The season wasn't organic at all. It seemed to be just a whole lot of fake and fabricated things just going on.
Right.
And to bring Yovana on there, it seems like, really, why bring her on there? If you're going to bring Yovana on there, bring the other people that played a role in this season with the highlights of this season with different people. Yovana is not a cast member. She's getting, she might be getting paid from it and she might not, but, Snakegate really wasn't, a big highlight of the season, just in my opinion. I just think everybody played a part in the pettiness and the drama. A lot of people may be over Nene, but to me, I still think she brings something to the show, whether it may be her pettiness, her, she brings herself. And if you just can't accept that, then, hey, they're just like Kenya. It had to be something that production saw in Kenya to bring her back.
Right.
She developed a storyline, her husband, her baby, whether, allegedly she got it from an egg, wherever she got it from, a chicken, a rooster, wherever. The baby is beautiful,
right.
Nonetheless. But You know, she had a storyline this season, and she had a lot of highlights in her story where she could have brought someone. But the text messages on Brent's YouTube page, I was looking with the side eye like, I am, am I certain this is true? We have to hear other parts before I can just make a collective decision, although I'm team Nene all
Right.
day. But, you know, this season, my girl, she rose above certain things, especially with Wendy, but I still think that was fabricated too. I think that was just something to, incline ratings and things of that nature. But I do think that they should shake the cast up a little bit. Where Cynthia's talking about going to LA, that may be a spot open for some other lady. It just needs to get back how it was when the first couple of seasons aired.
Yeah, I
It
want
was
to see them
genuine.
spend some money.
Right. It was genuine. They were doing something. They actually seemed to be enjoying each other, besides the little squabbles and little things like how Sheree said, fix that face, fix that body. That was, if you can remember, those were great memories of the Housewives. And that's what you just want to get back to. It just seems like it's just so much animosity and it seems so toxic right now that it just you don't want to watch it anymore.
Right. I definitely understand.
It just
Well,
turns off.
well, thank you for calling. I always appreciate you calling in and being so passionate about our girls.
Love you, Justin. I know you're not Team Nene, but still love you anyway.
I'm seeing Nene-ish tonight now.
Ish. I got you.
All right, thank you. I'll see you in the
All
chat.
right. Have a great night. Bye bye.
Dang, it's been like 30 minutes since I got $1 or $2 in super chat. I told y'all I'm trying to pay the cable bill. This is the last day. So if y'all got y'all stimulus checks, I would appreciate some love. I did not get my stimulus check, and I've been working every day trying to put out some content for all of us. So I'm just playing. There's no pressure, but I definitely appreciate all the love in every form. Hello.
Hey,
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing pretty good.
Awesome. So I know I've been on here before. The last time I was on here, I had made a comment about Nene saying that, she gets paid to fight for certain friendships and not other friendships, like with Wendy.
Mhm.
I actually meant that as in like she's not gonna publicize that, like certain things she's not gonna do online for everybody to see, because in certain friendships you know how to handle people differently. And I feel like that was kind of her thing with Wendy. And I'm not team Nene at all, but I definitely like side-eyed production and Bravo completely when she released her little videos on YouTube, because I
Mhm.
kind of just felt like she was being targeted, especially with that whole, oh well, don't wear white. Like, they knew what they were doing. Like,
Right.
they completely knew what they were doing. And then on top of that, when they released this Secrets Revealed episode, it kind of made me even more mad because I felt like production really let us down. There was like a lot of good little, nuggets in there where it could have made the season a little lighter. And they just completely chose to discard it like it was trash. And so I feel like not only do they need to shake up the cast, I feel like they need to shake up production too, because they did
But what if
not
that's the problem?
deliver.
Like I feel like this production, the energy that I'm getting from production, it doesn't seem like it seems new. It doesn't seem like it's always been like this. So what if this is a result of them shaking up production too much?
I think so. I feel like they hired some producers who used to work on Bad Girls Club or something, and was like, "Oh, let's go with the messy angle and only do that." But that's not what this show was about. It never
Agreed.
was. And
Agreed.
yeah, I went off on Twitter because I was just like, production really like screwed everybody over. Like, not just Nene, not just Kenya, not just the girls. They screwed us out of a good season because there was a lot of things like they didn't even show the good side of Kenya and Mark's relationship, and I was surprised to see that they actually got along on certain aspects of their relationship, because they didn't even show that. Like, people were thinking that, oh well, Mark just hates Kenya, but in one of those scenes he was literally like upset because he didn't get to see her as much because she works. So it
Mm-hmm.
was just like, okay, y'all just want to show the horrible side, and y'all probably like are defaming this man, and that's probably why he was like, talking about filing lawsuits against, people who were judging their relationship and stuff, because he probably knew it was going to come out looking crazy like that.
Right.
So yeah, I just think that production failed completely. And I'm not team Nene, but I definitely have sympathy for her, because it sucks that they even treated her like that. And yeah, I just feel like they need to do better. They need to rehire production and get it back to a genuine point. Like, it used to be genuine, and I feel like that's another reason Nene has so many problems on the show now. I don't feel like she values the friendships of the castmates as much as Kenya does, because it seems like Kenya takes more of an effort to like reach out to them outside of filming.
Mm-hmm.
um and even if you notice with the secrets revealed, they were saying who they kept in touch with outside of filming, and Kenya, Kandi, Cynthia, and Eva all kept in touch with each other, and none of them said anything about Nene. So I just
Right.
feel like that speaks a lot,
Right.
versus real friends versus reality TV. But that's all I had to say.
All right. Well, thank you for calling. I definitely appreciate it. And you raised some good points.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right. Talk to you later.
All right.
Hello.
Hi, Justin.
Hi. How are you?
I'm good, and you?
Doing well.
That's good. I just wanted to talk about the whole Nene and Wendy thing,
Mm-hmm.
the whole friendship. I feel like Nene, Wendy, and Kenya have similar personalities, and they're just like bullshitting each other. Like, sorry for my French, excuse my French, but they just disrespect each other, and it's quite sad. Like how Wendy talked about Nene being that girl over there. That was like so uncalled for, and it was just unnecessary drama. I feel
Especially
that
if she wrong. I feel like it would have been cute if she was accurate, but at least be right, girl.
right,
Okay.
exactly. Be right. And like, why are the girls so focused on the Nene and Wendy friendship? Like, what's wrong about them being friends?
Right. I'll be honest. In the beginning, I felt like, okay, like it's not authentic. Nene is going to just use it to her advantage. And then Wendy's using Nene and it's going to be so fake. But I don't think
Right,
it's that serious to where she should be slammed or like, in the hot seat about it. It's none of their business. And
exactly.
I don't feel like their friendship or relationship has, affected the other girls. None of their tea has been leaked by Wendy. The only tea that's been leaked has been Nene's. so,
Exactly.
so I don't see the problem.
The other thing that pissed me off this season was Nene is always talked about in a bad light when she does something, but the girls don't talk about Kenya. Like when Nene talked about the whole Snakegate thing with Yovana, she was the villain. Everybody was against her. But when Kenya brought the Cookie Monster, the only person that stood up for Tanya was Portia, and it was very weird.
Well, didn't Cynthia and Kandi kind of check her on it? They didn't make her feel bad and drag it out, but they did acknowledge it, right?
They did acknowledge it, but it's not the same way. It's not the same weight that
What do
they
you guys?
did with.
Okay, so let's talk about this. What do you guys expect? Do you guys expect them to denounce Kenya and like kick her out the group? Like, what do you guys
Not
expect?
denounce her. I don't expect them to denounce her, but I feel like they should have just been like, okay, Kenya, like, no, girl, that was just, you went too far with that. You shouldn't have done that. That's not cool. What, yada, yada, yada. Because with Nene, they will call her out immediately and like shut her out. But with Kenya, they just call her out a bit. And then it's like, okay, whatever. Or maybe it's just how Nene values their friendships. Like maybe she doesn't even value them. and Kenya values friendships, like the previous caller said. Kenya
Right.
actually values the friendships, and that's why they check her and forgive her. Whereas with Nene, they just shut her out.
And another thing, if I'm honest, I think that what happens is they understand that kind of Kenya is kind of doing her job, and maybe they see things that we don't see behind the scene. Maybe they see a
Right.
producer go and whisper in Kenya's ear, or maybe they're grateful and thankful that Kenya is helping they check to grow every season because she's helping their ratings.
Exactly.
But
I just love. Oh no, carry on.
You make a good point. You make you make a good point about the fact that maybe they feel like since Kenya does have some sort of a real friendship with them outside the show, maybe that also, well, clearly that affects it. Like that, that would affect me as well.
Right. But what I loved this season, especially the last episode with the whole secrets revealed, was the last scene where they were all at Kandi's house and Kandi's phone was ringing and Portia answered it. And then everyone else was like, oh, she's even answering the phone now. And Portia's like, I'm glad to be here. Like, I miss their friendship. That moment had me laughing. And it was so cute to see. I miss their friendship.
Right. We love to see it. We love to see it. But I have I have a confession, y'all. I did not watch Secret Reveal.
What? Why?
I didn't watch it because whenever we said this was the finale, I was looking forward to a break because I not 7 days a week, I have to care about what's happening with the show. I have to pay attention. I have to do everything to like make sure that I got my binge watchers back. So I was like, okay, I get like a week or two break before the reunion. So I'm going to chill. And then here go a Secret Revealed episode.
Secrets Real.
It threw me completely off and I haven't been able to recover ever since.
Right. But what are you expecting from the reunion?
I'm not expecting a lot. My biggest thing is I want it to look produce. I want it to look professional. I want it to look binge-worthy. I want to be able to make several videos from it. I want us to be shook that they weren't in person. Like I want it to be better than it would have been if they were in person. But I don't know if those are realistic expectations. But I kind of haven't expected much because I want to be impressed.
But I read a blog last night where Kandi said that this reunion is just going to be as hot as if they were there, like all in the same room. But I don't believe it because when they're in the same room, when they're in the same room, it's like more fire. It's more like, I'm going to pull your wig off. I'm going to drag you from the couch, something like that. But like when it's virtual, it's going to be like, people just say things that are going to be that hit below the belt,
But at the same time, maybe they will be a little bit more bolder and more entertaining because they feel safe to a certain extent behind the camera. You know how Instagram people be a lot more ratchet and they be a lot more bold than they would be in person. Maybe that'll work in our favor.
Well, I'm expecting few things from this reunion.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right. Thank you for calling. I'll see you in the chat.
Bye. Thank
you. Bye. Hello.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Hi.
Hey, how are you?
What's up? How are you?
Pretty good. Just trying to make it. I was just like, this is the last day.
It is. And you taking up all the YouTube time. I was getting ready to go live. And then I'm like, damn, Justin live. Damn it. I have to be in here and play around with you. So
well, I was pressured. I was minding my business, sitting here out here looking for a Trump check.
Okay.
And then, people kept DMing me and I was just like, well, dang, like, did I say
that last little penny on April 30th?
Right. And then I was just like, okay, well, I can make $2 more if I go ahead.
In my mind, though, it's different. I'm like, I need to save my good content to tomorrow so I can have me a big check in April. I mean, in May.
That's true. That's true. And if you start out with, feet running, like if you start out well, I feel like that carries you as well.
Yeah, you could just chill at the end of the month.
Right.
It's all good. It's all good. But what's up, Justin? I was like, let's talk about this reunion, honey. Let's see what's gonna happen. I see you that hopped over to Team Nene for a hot second.
Right. Team Nene-ish. I mean, I couldn't help it because, I neglected the video for several days because I'm just like, yeah. And then when I seen the Shade Room post, the clip where Nene was like defending why she didn't throw Wendy under the bus, I was like, wait a minute now. Like, that's integrity. Like, that's like some real sisterhood right there. Like, you can do me wrong and I'm still not gonna F you. So
and you know what's crazy is, shameless plug. She said the same thing when she called into my show the other day. And she was, when I asked her about Yovana, because I said, well, wouldn't you think people would see you some kind of way for releasing these texts? She was like, for what? She'd already threw me under the bus. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, comparing that to the whole Wendy situation. But she was like, since her and Wendy were friends and they had that conversation, then they had that agreement. But with Yovana, it was different because Yovana pretty much threw her under the bus from the beginning by lying about not having this audio, and she kept her mouth shut. You know what I'm saying? Throughout this whole scenario. So it's an interesting little dynamic going on.
And I will have to give Nene this. You guys, Team Twirl, cover your ears. Nene fans, listen up. Now that I think about it, and I could be wrong, so if I'm wrong, somebody can tell me I'm wrong. But now that I think about it, Nene never is the one who really throws the first punch. Somebody does something wrong to her, and then she loses it.
Right.
Even the Kenya drama that they're in right now, Kenya posted those things about shoot, marry, kill, or whatever, and that's what triggered Nene. So it's just like, I'm not saying that how she retaliates is right, but like, she's not that girl that's just gonna pull a Yovana and out you.
Right. And if you remember when they were in Toronto and her and Yovana were in that hallway and she said, I'm trying to help you, man. You remember that? Because Yovana was saying there wasn't one and blah, blah, blah. And Nene was frustrated. And then when the cameras followed her back into the room where she was like audio, video, whatever the hell, you know what I'm saying? So to me, it was like that. If we go back and look at that, knowing what we know now, is like the facts are right there in our face.
The girls are saying that I'm wrong in the chat. So tell me how I'm wrong. Don't just say I'm wrong, y'all. Tell me how. I want to know the truth.
What are they talking about?
When did Nene do something really grimy first?
I think they're talking about, I guess, when she was on the phone with Wendy, dropping, all of that.
To me, that's still
out.
Retaliation from the initial Kenya stuff.
That's what I said, but
like they haven't jumped. That's my problem. They haven't jumped off that whole "I'm mad at you, you mad at me" BS from last season. Like that just kept going. I'm talking about
in Greece. She was like, "I'm gonna read her every time I see her." So I was like, "Oh, let me sit back and watch, get my popcorn and my binge-worthy pink purple hearts together." So this is crazy.
Let me try to think about what started Nene and Portia's drama. What started that? Did Nene start that? Where she called her
she called her fat.
Yeah. What started that?
Texts. I can't. What happened?
Oh, Portia is the one who threw Nene, said Nene like hit her. And said,
oh yeah, and always claimed that was production, and that Portia went back and recorded some audio because remember she went on her YouTube and talked about that too.
But let me ease on off this. It may be too
much. I know, right?
It may be too much.
We'll be going down a long road.
Somebody said wrong road.
I'm still like, I don't know. I don't know who started, but I know she should be clapping back.
Yeah. So I'm definitely going to continue to look at all the evidence. And when I make my little video, then, I'll be happy to.
We still don't know exactly how the reunion is going to go. All we know is how they filmed it. We don't know what's going to be edited, how it's going to be put together, if Nene is going to be the central focus, or if they, will edit it to be some other way. We don't know.
Right. Yeah. So I just feel like, and another thing, guys, is I didn't want to be the one to try to tell y'all what the reunion is about. Like Michelle is a little different. Michelle has, direct plug. She's plugged. People come to her with information. People come to me with information sometimes, but when it comes to the reunion, I would rather make a video about the reunion once I at least see the trailer.
Right.
Like, I don't want to be like, oh, this happened and oh, y'all better see it. Like, that's not really what
And about the trailer, when will we get this trailer? We've been waiting on this trailer. Where is it?
I expect, hopefully it won't be Sunday night at the end of one of those soup kitchen shows. Hopefully it'll be like Monday or something through People Magazine or something.
But when is the first episode? Isn't it this Sunday?
No, it's supposed to be May 10th.
Sunday.
Yeah, May 10th.
Oh, okay.
So I guess I got to get to work before they release the trailer.
I know, right? Well, I just wanted to call and say hey, since I was, chilling in the chat and sitting up here creating thumbnails and stuff. So
what time are you going live?
I don't know. I guess, sometime, after you.
Okay. I'm about to wrap it up. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll be ready then.
All right. Talk to you later.
All right. Bye.
I have a couple more calls to take. Hello.
Hi, Justin.
Hello. Hi, how are you?
Hi, I'm fine.
I
just wanted to say a few things.
Okay.
Okay, so first of all, I just want to say about Kenya. I don't hate Kenya, but Kenya has done some really terrible things and nobody ever mentions them. I don't understand how she can say some of the things that she says and she's not called out for them. Like the whole Phaedra situation. She threatened to drag Phaedra when Phaedra was pregnant and nobody ever talks about that on the reunion show.
Mm-hmm.
No one talks about that. And so I'm just confused how she always tries to chastise the girls. Like when they were in Greece, how she yelled at Tanya and Portia, trying to make it seem like they didn't have any class and saying, oh, Portia's only good for talking about Hennessy and hookah. And I'm just like, nobody really, heard too much about you after the 90s, in my opinion. Like Marlo said, she was very humble when she first came to the show in that little apartment. And now she is just the poster child for class. And
so you just called to read Kenya down.
No, I'm done with Kenya. I'm going on to Kandi. I just want to say that about Kenya because whatever Kenya does, she does stand behind it. But I don't like when she tries to play the victim and say that everybody's bullying her. Like, you do some trash stuff, but you kind of stand behind it. So just roll with it. If that's the character you're gonna play on the Housewives, play that character. That's it.
Okay.
As far as Kandi, I just feel like Kandi sets up everything for her next project. The whole Mama Joyce and Todd thing, I think that was just a scheme set up for her spinoff show. That's fine. Get your money. Again, I'm like the other callers. I wanted to go back to the originals plots, more authentic, girlfriends hanging out, having lavish parties, those types of things. Like all these
we love to see it.
We love to see that kind of stuff. Like now everything's just set up for their next project is how I see it. They're all just promoting.
And I feel like there's a way to do that, but it shouldn't be so obvious.
Right. And that's just my opinion on it.
Because even though, even to your point, I think, for instance, for the first, let me not be as dramatic. I was about to say for the first time in a long time, but Brooklyn's Barbie party, I feel like that was an example of that. This isn't to promote any product. This is just me doing something really fabulous for my daughter that I'm excited about. And I feel like we love to see it.
We do, because that's what we sit in our little apartments or our 4 family homes and we dream about being housewives. Like most of us have to get up and go work a 9 to 5. So we dream about what would it be like to be a housewife. And so show us that. Like we don't need to see the pettiness all the time. Like we want to see what is the life of actually not having to be somewhere at a certain time. You just kind of live your lavish life. We want to see more of that and not all these schemes and plots. That's just my opinion. It was not a call to just drag Kenya. But lastly, I just want to say, Eva can go.
See, I agree with you on that.
Yeah, Eva can really go. And all this, now all of a sudden she remembers everything because it's the reunion. Like at first she couldn't remember ever saying anything negative about anybody, but now, I'm
Nene
just not here.
said her peach is on the line. She's trying to secure her plum.
Her plum. That's exactly what it is. And Nene fell for it. I hate that she fell for that because it was so obvious that Eva needed to be relevant before this season wrapped up. She did.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole FaceTime and just to make sure she was included in the season that was trash to me as well. I don't know.
We hate
Let's
to
work
see
a
it.
little harder for your plum. Right. But thank you so much for taking my call. And that's all I wanted to say. I just wanted to give a little honesty and I'm not team anyone. I'm team Real Housewives of Atlanta. But, some of the stuff that goes on is just like, I don't understand how people miss it. Like,
okay.
Call a thing a thing.
Right. Well, thanks for calling. I appreciate it.
Uh-huh.
All right,
You're
bye-bye.
welcome.
All right. Do you guys want me to take some more calls?
For today's video, we are doing things a little bit different. Yes, you made it here for the live discussion, so it's definitely time for you to join the conversation. And you don't gotta download no app or nothing. Just click the StreamYard link that I've placed in the live chat to join the broadcast. You can come on camera if you want to, or you can just be like me, serving podcast vibes here in my pajamas. Yeah, I know that y'all are used to getting all my Justin Diego theories, but today, I want to hear from you. Our live discussion continues right now.
Hello?
Hello.
Hi, how are
Can you
you?
hear me? Good, how are you?
You've been having a lot to say, reading me in the chat. You're good.
I have not been reading you. I wanted to say, from the outside looking in, apparently this season Kandi got paid the most, right? I don't think Kandi is pulling her weight. Kandi has been coasting by since season 9, and Nene has been in the hot seat since not season 10. But I just don't feel like they're all pulling their weight, so I do think it's unfair.
Mm-hmm.
So I understand where she's coming from, and I definitely understand in terms of her feeling manipulated by production. But I'm gonna need. So I like Nene, but I'm gonna need her to get it together, understand that this is a business, and they know her triggers, and they know how to manipulate her to get a certain reaction out of her.
Mm-hmm.
In order to get views and to get those moments. She also has to understand that, in my opinion, she performs best. That's when she gives us the most, is at these reunions. She makes the reunions. I mean, Kenya fans think probably differently, but she makes up these reunions. So I think like she has to understand that she is going to be in the hot seat, and they are going to require a little bit more from her. Because what is Kandi going to give us? Nothing. Joyce ain't there to make her relevant. Don Juan is not there for Portia to read. Like,
Kandi does not always need, Kandi coded click. I think that Kandi brings a lot. Like, she may not be the most entertaining, but I think that Kandi brings a certain class and a certain I don't know. She just brings this. I'm important in the music.
See, you said you don't know what she brings.
I mean, I know what
she doesn't bring anything,
and
it's entertaining.
It. I think that Kandi helps the show be a little bit more respected. Kandi's very respected in Atlanta. Kandi's very respected in her industry, and I just think that having her on this show adds something to the show. And you don't necessarily.
But if she's getting paid the most, shouldn't she be in the hot seat some of the times? Shouldn't production and the network do things to ruffle her feathers and get a reaction out of her?
Well, I think
it's not fair that she's making all this money and just sitting on the couch in the middle season to season.
Well, they get a raise. Well, allegedly they get a raise every season, and I think her making the most has to do with her being on the most and like getting a raise each season. Also, I feel like I agree that Kandi needed to be out of the hot seat for a couple of seasons after season 9. But I said, like, I think in my last video that I do think that it's time for her to start getting a little bit more smoke. So I feel like this was the last exception or pass that I gave Kandi. Next season, I think we need Phaedra back, and we want to go ahead and address that.
Yeah, and also I'm for the people that, because one of your earlier callers said that, you know, she basically fell out of love with Nene with how she treated Greg, and I think everyone's obviously entitled to their experience of how they observe the show, but you have to understand that we didn't get to see how Greg was treating her, and he went on his live once basically saying, you know, he was very grumpy and everything like that, and she was the only one taking care of him. So while I didn't agree with her all the time, or I don't agree with her all the time, I try to be objective. It's that scenario was only given to us in one point of view. We weren't given a full story, as we often aren't, but people just have to keep that in mind.
Yeah, I definitely understand. And at the same time, I also understand that perspective, because I was one of the people who I covered that story, you know, and I wanted people to pray for Greg, but then it started to be like, wait a minute, like this is getting a little weird. But Nene off camera, I think what Nene did address off camera and her having Greg kind of talk about it, I think that happened outside of the show, like to where I started to be like, okay, I get it. And maybe some people didn't see that. So give them a break.
Listen, people be seeing what they want to see, and people don't see a full picture. And I'm gonna need Bravo to fire the Love and Hip Hop producers and stop giving us these pop-ups. And no, we don't want all these people at the reunions. We'll watch Love and Hip Hop for that when they change a couch after every commercial break. We don't want that
right
at the Atlanta reunions. That's a no for us. The Cookie Monster, she did. Whatever.
Well, thank you so much for calling. I will see you in the chat.
You will. Okay, bye.
Bye. Hello. Hello, caller. Can you hear me? I see that your mic is muted. Hello? No, nothing? Okay, thick girl 40, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
How are you?
I'm good.
What do you want
I just wanted to say, all of the seasons that Kenya was trying to be Nene's friend, and Nene would throw dirt at her, didn't want anything to do with it. But now that Kenya is paying her dust, it's a big thing. She's not saying anything out the way to her. She's not doing any of that. So what's the problem? Nene goes on her platform. Everything she talks about has something to do with Kenya, Kandi, Eva. She's always the victim. Like, seriously, ma'am, do you forget? You must forget a lot of the things that you have done.
Right.
But she's always the victim. That makes no sense at all. Her and Kenya are the same person, basically. So, like, it goes both ways.
You don't have no sympathy at all?
For what?
You don't feel like people have teamed up a little bit too much on Nene?
They don't team up. They tell Kandi. Kandi is mutual. She goes for both. If Kenya does something wrong, she lets her know. Why? Because she don't drag her and unfriend her. That means she doesn't make her.
Right.
You know what I'm trying to say. For what she does. Come on now.
Right. Did you watch Nene's?
If you're real friends and not just show friends, that's how you're going to handle your friend in real life.
Right. Did you watch any of Nene's videos?
All the victim cries? Yes, I did.
So you think that it's cool for production to set her up to be the only one
Who says production did that? Nene said that, right?
I mean, she did, and you know.
And who else said it? Nobody. So just because she said it doesn't mean it's so.
Well, do you think that you think she would personally want to be like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
She's the queen, remember? The queen doesn't want to be like anyone else. Why should she? The only thing she messed up on was wearing black because it was her funeral. I mean, the way she talked to me, like they buried her.
Well, dang. Is there anything that you're looking forward to on the reunion outside of like Nene's situation?
No, I do believe that they should have brought more people on besides Yovana, because I'm over her. We don't know if she's lying or telling the truth.
Right.
They should have brought the cookie lady. They could have brought other people. But
Do
the
we want
thing
to
is,
see the cookie lady?
huh?
Did we want to see the Cookie Monster?
No, I didn't want to see her, but I'm just saying they could have brought someone else on that was a part of someone else's storyline and not just all be about Nene.
Okay.
We were tired of Snakegate, so why bring it back to the reunion?
Right. I think they just fishing for ratings.
Right. But I just want the old Nene back. I rocked with Nene when she in the first season. I don't know if the fame went to her. I don't know what happened, but I want that Nene back, the fun Nene.
Right.
And I haven't seen her in a long time.
Right. I definitely would like to have her back. Well, thank you for calling. I definitely appreciate you coming in and speaking, your thoughts.
Thank you, babe. Have a safe night and stay healthy, everyone.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Hello? Are your things together now?
Yes, I had to jump in the car. I'm sorry.
No problem.
Okay, so real quick, I'm full of it, but I'm gonna get it together. I'm not finna clown. I have a serious question for you.
Okay.
Should Cynthia come back next season?
I really like Cynthia, and I've always felt like Cynthia just made sense to be on the show. Anytime I thought about like who would be my cast, Cynthia would be like automatically in there because she's just safe. Like I never have expectations for her, and I never am disappointed. So she always is just safe with me. But
okay.
I do feel like Real Housewives needs a serious change right now, and
okay.
I feel like Cynthia is in a good place. This is a good end to Cynthia's story. She found a new man. She's in love. She wouldn't be leaving bitter. But I also feel like Cynthia is one of those housewives where I feel like she should always be welcome back if she needs the money.
Right. But about the love part, that's good because Peter. But I think that this season, more than any season, it exposed a little bit more of that side that Nene was talking about. Now, I'm not finna just pull my blonde wig out and put it on, but what I'm saying is, this is especially during Snakegate, when Marlo and Cynthia had that little bit, we saw a little piece of Cynthia. She almost looked over at the cameras and forgot where she was. She was like, I knew your hadn't changed. Whatever.
Right.
Like, she was kind of going in, and we caught a line a little bit with the cookie lady. She lied and said she talked to Kenya, but then Kenya said, well, Cynthia, you never told me anything. So it was a few pieces. But the reason I asked you that is because I wanted to know, do you think if there was no Mike Hill, do you think she would have been back this season?
Yeah, I think that Cynthia is. I think that the network hasn't shown me any sign ever that they were interested in having Cynthia on the show.
Okay. I'm gonna leave that alone.
And Cynthia is another person who's pretty respected. And you guys have to think that what the show has to do is they have to balance what is going to make advertisers willing to pay for us to make the show, number one.
Okay.
And then on the other hand, what will make viewers watch this show that advertisers paid for. So I think that you do need a Cynthia in the bunch. If you guys pay attention, whenever Bravo gets those little deals for Housewives where, they promote a movie or whatever, who's one of the people who are always in that? It's Cynthia.
You're right. Especially when she got her drink. When she got the little...
From a brand standpoint, Cynthia is an absolute safe choice. They ain't got to worry about her ever wanting to really get crazy. She's respectable. Right. She's beautiful. She's relatable. She's probably one of the most advertiser friendly people on the show besides Kandi.
You're right. We're gonna leave her and we're gonna let her chill. You're absolutely correct. We're gonna let her chill.
All right. Well,
that's all I had. I'm driving. Let me get off this phone and get back in the chat.
Well, thank you for calling. I'll see you in the chat.
All right.
Bye-bye. Hello. Hey. Oh. Dang. I got hung up in y'all. She hung up in my face. Somebody said I'm wrong. Why am I wrong? How am I wrong? I can only give Justin Diego theories. I don't know if these things are for sure, but it's my theory. Hello?
Hello.
Hello. I see you keep getting impatient, dipping out.
No, honestly, my Wi-Fi be fucking up. Sorry, excuse my language. I apologize. Yeah, we need to get into this because I have a lot to say.
Okay. You have the floor.
In terms of like Nene and her place on the show, she is obviously a very well-respected person. I feel like sometimes her morals and her opinions about stuff get twisted depending on what side of the road she stands on.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of, when she was backed up with Portia and Phaedra, she had a different thing to say in terms of loyalty and respect. But her opinions of how Cynthia treats her friends shouldn't be, a point of conversation because everyone treats their friends differently depending on how their friendships are, in my opinion.
Okay, that makes sense.
There's sometimes you let that one person go because they don't always do that, and then you hold that person accountable based on how they treat you, on that sense.
Right.
I don't think that her relationship with Wendy was enough of a weight to have a conversation about on the reunion, in my opinion. I don't know. What do you think about that?
I don't think for right now, I don't think so, but I guess it would depend on the context. And even if they brought it up, I'm fine with them bringing it up, but I don't think it should have been like something that put Nene in a hot seat.
No, I just think that I think the problem is that this season was very negative on her, and obviously there wasn't a lot of positive topics going on in her life. Well, not that we've seen from production.
Mm-hmm.
If there was any, that she wasn't being displayed that way. She missed quite a few episodes, so maybe that's where all the footage went.
Right.
I mean that's the truth, isn't it? I mean, I feel like in terms of like Nene, she just had a really bad year, and I think that, in my opinion, I don't know if anyone's ever gonna really agree with me, but she really did create the issue that she is currently going through. Kenya wouldn't have such a storyline or presence if she didn't have such a blow up in the finale last season.
Mm-hmm. And to me, it makes it weird because I feel like with Nene being on the show for as long as she's been on the show, she should know better, and she should know that when the cameras are on, girl, and if you see them pointing at you because something's going on, your actions is going to be what we use, and this is going to make your storyline. Is the same reason why I'm surprised that she's giving Eva so much, because it's like, girl, you're going to be the reason why she gets a peach again.
Absolutely. Like, I absolutely agree with that. Season 11, especially the tail end of it, it's almost like she lost her self-awareness of how the show works. If you don't pay that woman no mind, that woman has nothing to give.
Right.
And, she gave, if Cynthia was like on the chopping block potentially last season, she gave Cynthia a storyline, she gave Kandi a storyline, she gave Portia a new storyline, she gave Kenya an open door. She fussed with Eva, where she could have just been like, I'm sorry, I apologize.
Right.
I think that was the major problem, is that, instead of going the easy route and just being like, I do apologize, I can see where you're coming from, she tends to kind of put herself against the wall where things like this and text messages get leaked and vice versa. And it's almost, like you said a minute ago, she's been on it for so long, it's almost quite crazy how she doesn't see the bigger picture in how she operates.
Right.
In terms of Kenya, I'm not going to lie to you, she just works it in the sense, I'm not a big fan of Kenya, I'll be honest with you, but in terms of how she maps herself, she's quite strategic and places herself in positions where she's morally ambiguous, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Where, she's wrong, but she's poked you enough where you look worse than her.
And I feel like that. I mean, that's the part of her magic.
Yes, that's literally what she did in season 5. She got the reaction she wanted, but I think that now it's getting onto dangerous territories where Nene will put hands on you. Please stop.
Right.
It's actually quite like it's getting to the point where what you were saying about Cynthia being very marketable. Nene slowly becoming a lot more aggressive with production, with the allegations against Portia. She's becoming more and more unmarketable.
Right. And that's unfortunate because when Nene definitely wants to be in Hollywood and she wants a talk show and she wants all these things, and I feel like once she came back to the show with her tail in between her legs because things didn't quite work out the way that she wanted them to, which was her reason for leaving the show didn't really work. She came back, and I just feel like now she came back and she is being a lot more aggressive and not really being respectable anymore, and that's really confusing.
Absolutely, and I love Nene. Each character serves their purpose for me. I think they're all pretty necessary in terms of the Real Housewives of Atlanta franchise. I think that Nene as a person and a character on the show has somewhat lost herself a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think she's going through something. I think she's going through a lot more than what we really truly see. I think maybe she's depressed. We saw that scene where, we never saw Nene drunk much. Maybe I'm missing stuff, but you never really see her drink that heavily. Where we saw a scene like her in her bedroom, and we're seeing a lot more of her drinking more on scenes where things get out of hand and out of character. But I think that we're seeing a little bit more of a sadder side of Nene, and I'm not a big fan of Nene or Kenya because they're both quite not toxic, but they can be quite in terms of what's the word? Not bipolar. I don't want to use that word. Polarizing.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you like them, sometimes you don't.
Right.
But in terms of how they are, you do root for them at some point. And unfortunately, this season and part of last season, I didn't find much of Nene that I could root for.
Right. Yeah, that's a good
and
point.
That was the saddest part, especially with the whole text messages. I want to get down to the text messages part where she's releasing these text messages, but I want to see her responses because I feel like if those text messages being sent to you, there is she's exposing herself to some sort of culpability. In which, if those text messages were sent to you at April, last June, it comes across sketchy and it makes you look just as bad as the person sending that or saying it.
Right. That's true. Well, I definitely appreciate you calling in and sharing so many insights. So
yes.
I will see you in the chat.
By the way, I want to say I'm not Mark.
You saw that?
Yeah, I saw that. I'm about to go before someone lights me up. I gotta go. Bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
Hello?
Hello?
Hi. Can you hear me? Uh-oh. I don't know what happened. Hello?
What's up, Justin?
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. Ready to spill some tea.
The floor is yours.
Well, I've been listening to everyone's comments, and at one point of time, between season 7, 8, and 9, I worked in production with the Real Housewives.
Oh, is that
okay?
Right.
And right, so I'm going to spill some tea. Okay, a lot of what Nene is telling you, it is true. And with these girls, from what I've seen, from what I know, and because I no longer work with them, and work with production with them. But what I've seen throughout the years, a lot of that what Nene was saying about Cynthia, we're starting to see. Cynthia is not as innocent and sweet as she's nice, but Cynthia can kind of really be messy at times too. And Cynthia is one-sided. I've seen, and I'm just giving my opinion of what I think and what I've seen, where she does not hold Kenya accountable for a lot of things. To spill some real tea, Kenya really didn't have a storyline this season because for the simple fact is that Mark really did not want to be on the show, and they're really not married. They're not. You can't be married to a man who likes other men.
Okay, now.
Right. So
Now,
we're gonna move on. Go ahead.
if you're gonna be reading our queen, we're gonna have to see some credentials.
Oh, I got the receipts. Matter of fact,
no, I don't want no receipts about that. I'm talking about what season did you work on? What was your position?
I worked in production with dealing with makeup and hair and all that because I'm a stylist, and so we worked on their reunions and some of them I know because I'm in Atlanta that I do know.
So
one
you
or two
learn her
personally.
man is like all that. You learn all that from the reunion.
Just say I know people within New York, and they're not married, and you will find out they never were married. And the reason why Brooklyn does not look like Mark.
Okay, that's not the type of channel that I run. So let's talk about what happened or what you feel about the Real Housewives of Atlanta reunion.
Okay. Well, I just feel like back on some other things is that Kandi, Phaedra does need to come back because the same thing what Nene went through this season, Kandi needs to deal with that with Phaedra head up one-on-one and instead of dodging it. Kenya didn't have a storyline really too much this year, except for what she was going through with Mark, and then holding on to this Buffalo thing with Nene about the baby, and so and therefore which that could have been avoided and just moved on to something else, forgiven and moved on. You know what I'm saying? And so Eva was in and out. You know what I'm saying? But I do believe that after I think Cynthia solidified herself next season with her and Mike getting married. Because Bravo wants to carry a good wedding spinoff with her. But I do believe that Cynthia will probably exit the show, and maybe she might join the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills with Garcelle, which would be good because Cynthia could mingle with that crowd and and do her Sadidi reads or whatever you want to say.
Okay.
But
Portia.
Okay, go ahead.
Thank you so much for calling. I appreciate you calling in and spilling some tea.
All right.
Talk to you later. Bye. Yeah, guys. I get that stories like that are sensational, and I'm all for a little bit of petty shade, but that's just not the type of channel I run. And if I don't spill stories like that, please don't come on to this show and do that, because I don't tell stories that are like that. That's just not my style. So moving along. Hello.
Hi, Justin. Can you hear me?
I can. How are you?
Yay. I love you. Okay. Let me get that out the way.
Love you for watching.
I am definitely a Nene stan. I really don't care what Twirl says in the comments. Okay. I stand by my girl. However, I have really been digging into some of the ways that Nene has been moving lately. Mm-hmm. And I do agree with that caller, with the accent, where he said, you kind of see a different side of her where she may be in some sort of situation behind the scenes. And I did a little, I did do a little digging because I remember when she made a post about hiring Lisa Bloom. Mm-hmm. And don't just hire Lisa Bloom for a play. Okay.
Right.
It has to be something serious going on. And I think Kandi kind of inserted herself in a situation when Nene was making a actual yet another example of unfairness when it comes to the whole spinoff situation, because she even mentioned, I don't think you guys remember, right, in a reunion when the last reunion that Kim Zolciak was there, and Nene literally went back and forth with Andy and was like, listen, why does Kim Zolciak have a show? Like, what was the grounds? Nene has been on this show since the beginning and even got Kim and Kandi on the show, yet she has no long-term spin-off show or anything like that. So I think it's some sort of either discrimination, when she always speaking about the unfairness. But I think the girls take that and they run with it and they insert themselves, when I think Nene is really speaking about production, like the big heads, the big people that make decisions over there at Bravo and True Entertainment, the actual company that, is behind a lot of the stuff that the girls do. So Kandi definitely inserted herself and called Nene a hater and all that. And girl, like, listen, I think Kandi just likes to be the only rich bitch in the room, okay? And she has that complex sometimes where it's like, okay, if it's another rich girl in the room or a girl that's making equal money, like everybody can't make less than you, Kandi. Some people actually have money, okay, have, jobs or what you call it.
Right.
But I think Nene is really going through something that's way bigger than these girls. And I think she's very strategic with the relationship with Wendy, and for good reason, because guess what? Wendy has a very public platform where she can drag any of these girls and switch the narrative of any of these girls at any time. She has that power. So to stay in Wendy's good graces is smart of Nene, and not to just, trash her. Because I know she could have trashed her, honey. Because we have Reed for days. Y'all know that. And like she told Kandi, she actually told Kandi in the post, or was like, hey, go talk to Lisa Bloom and we'll go from there. If you think I'm talking about you, because I don't think Nene has an issue adding anybody on social media, honey. Like, if she's talking about Kandi, she'll say Kandi. If she's talking about Cynthia, it's Cynthia. Like, why do people think she's gonna hold her tongue? I think it's bigger than what these girls think is going on. And the reunion, I think, is gonna really bring a lot of stuff to the forefront, because, like she said, it can't be all about me. How is it that you guys say I miss so much? I missed all these episodes and I'm not relevant and I ain't got no friends. But yet and still, when we get to the reunion, how is everything about me? The person who's not on the show, according to you guys, that's not on the show that much. I just don't understand it. It's the weirdest dynamic to me. So I think they like to put her in a hot seat to see if she's gonna blow up. If she's gonna explode. But again, I'm definitely Team Honey. And Justin, all of this is a scene set up by Todd.
Right. Well, thank you so much for calling. I will see you in the chat.
Okay, have a good night.
You too. Bye-bye. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Hi, how are you? Hello?
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great. How are you, Justin?
Doing pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing awesome. I'm ready to drag me some housewives. First of all, I love you so much. I love your YouTube channel. And these Real Housewives are not keeping it real. Let's start off with Nene. Nene, she is just playing the victim. She has so many people fooled except me. Girl, those tears are not going to win you an Academy Award. She needs to cut it. She needs to cut it quickly. I'm not here for it. I'm Team Twirl. I don't care. She's been the bully ever since Kenya stepped into the show. Like, she's been a bully. And now Kenya is not sweating her. She has her baby. She has her fake husband. And she doesn't want to be Nene's friend. And she just can't take it. And I'm just so over Nene. She needs to just have a retirement party. I'm so over it. I'm over it. Now let's get into 50 Cent. Oh my gosh, Cynthia, I'm just tired of her as well. She's just so passive aggressive. She likes to throw the rock and hide her hand. I definitely do believe that there was some sort of recording of her talking mad crap about Nene, which I do believe that she deserved. However, I do feel like there was a recording. I don't think that Yovana or Yo-Yo or whatever her name is going to go forward with putting the proof. However, I do feel like there was a recording. Portia is Nene's lapdog. She needs to get a backbone. Whenever Nene says, "Come on, Portia, sit on Grandma's lap," she runs to Nene's, and I'm not here for it. Moving right along to Kandi Yams. Now, I do, have a love-hate relationship with Kandi. Like, she is a big baller chick, but she has the tendency to be a little wishy-washy. She kind of flips the script. One minute she's her friend, one minute she's not her friend. I don't know. I love and hate Kandi, but this season I feel like she's been trying to be neutral, which means that I don't really think she's anybody's friend. I think she's just trying to be like that girl that just slips through the cracks. That's just how I feel about her. I had to let that out. Wendy Williams is nobody's friend. Like, I don't even think that Nene seriously took that friendship serious. If she did, she's not that smart, because Wendy Williams is nobody's friend. She will never be anyone's friend. She has a talk show about gossiping about people's business except her own.
You think that means she can't have friends?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. She's nobody's friend. She's nobody's friend. I feel like she'll put anybody's business out there except her and her ex-husband's business. I feel like she's just that girl. That's just how I feel. It's just so much. Like, I really feel like Kenya, she has her flaws. Don't get me wrong. She has her flaws. And I feel like sometimes she takes her blows a little too literal. I do feel like when Nene called her a buffalo, or called her baby a buffalo, I didn't think she meant it literally. However, I do feel like, Kenya's the type of girl, like, you just don't come for her unless you want her to just take your head off, because that's how she is. So, I mean, that's how I dissect things. I don't know. Maybe I'm being dramatic, but that's how I feel about these ladies.
Okay. Well, I definitely appreciate you calling in and getting all that off your chest.
Yes, it was built up. It was built up. And I feel like I had to let that off. Oh yeah, and Eva, sorry, not sorry. Next show. This isn't it. No. All right. Bye, Justin. Love you.
Thanks for calling. Love you for watching. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. Thank you guys for coming in. Yeah, some of y'all be having built up things to say, and that's fine. As long as y'all keep it respectful, that is fine. So today we talked about the Real Housewives of Atlanta reunion. We got into a couple of the reunion rumors, and dived into some of Nene's topics that she discussed on her live YouTube channel. And as the tea comes in, I will definitely be happy to share some of the tea with you guys.
Thanks so much for tuning into this binge-worthy discussion. I want to shout out everyone who called in tonight and everyone who joined in on this conversation in their own way. I really feel so good about our discussion, and I cannot wait to do it again sometime really, really soon. And I definitely want to give a very special thank you to everyone who sent super stickers or super chats tonight. And shout out to all of y'all who became members so that y'all could use some of these emojis, and be official. All right, thank you guys again for watching this video. I will see you on the next one.